So hello friends, welcome back to our channel Geologica. As you know that we have discussed some MCQs from geomorphology and some MCQs from the structural geology part. Now we are going to discuss some MCQs from the descriptive mineralogy. And here I have chosen the book R.K. Bopche. So let us see the MCQs which are given in this book. So here first is the minerals are either inorganic substances having definite chemical composition, having fixed atomic structure, or all statements are correct. So by definition, as all of us know, that minerals are the inorganic substances which have a definite chemical composition with a fixed atomic structure. So here fourth option will be our right answer, that all statements are correct. So second question is the bladed habit is shown by. So bladed habit is shown by the mineral kyanite. Kyanite is a blue colored mineral, and one specific property of kyanite is the dual hardness 4 and 7. So kyanite shows the bladed habit as well as the dual hardness. I will try to show you the picture in the side if you are able to see. Now the next question is acicular habit is shown by. So acicular habit is shown by the mineral natrolite. Then variation in color of a mineral may be due to. So whatever color variations which is shown by the different minerals, so it can be by the chemical difference. It can be due to the presence of impurities, like we have the major elements by which a mineral is formed, but there are some sort of trace element which can be come in the atomic structure, as you know, that because of the ionic substitution, Campbell-Flagg capture admittance. So because of these influences, mineral can change their color. Then surface alteration can also leads to the change in color of minerals, like feldspar changes into the clay mineral. So clay mineral has a different color than that of feldspar. So if there is alteration, then you will get a different color. That's why here fourth option will be our right answer, that variation of color may be due to the compositional differences, presence of impurities, surface alteration. Okay. Then the question number 5th is saying the matching of columns. So in the first column we have the minerals like hematite, chalcopyrite, pyrite, siderites. Then in the second side we have the streak of that ores or minerals. So here hematite, as we know, hematite is the cherry red streak. It is the characteristic property of hematite. Then you have the chalcopyrite. Chalcopyrite shows the greenish black streak. Then pyrite shows black streak, and siderite shows the white streak. If we see the chemical composition, then hematite, as we know, it is the Fe2O3, and chalcopyrite is CuFeS2, pyrite is FeS2, siderite is FeCO3. So siderite is iron carbonate, we can say, and pyrite is the sulfide, sulfur is there, chalcopyrite. Sometimes students may be confused in the pyrite and chalcopyrite. Pyrite is the ore of iron, but chalcopyrite is ore of copper. So it is something confusing, so keep in mind. Now the next question is violet color of amethyst is due to. As we know, amethyst is the variety of quartz, and as we have discussed that a mineral can show variation in color in the fourth question. So this variation is also seen in the quartz, and if color is violet, then we will call it amethyst. And your options are Fe2O3, FeCr2O4, then MnO2, CuSO4. So this color is because the presence of MnO2. So here third option or C will be our right answer. Now next question is the adamantine luster is shown by. So adamantive luster is the property of diamond. Then which of the following generally form homeomorphs? So homeomorph is term related to the isomorphism, which has the same atomic structure or same crystal structure, but chemical composition is different. Then it is shown by the rutile and zircon. Both are crystallized in the tetragonal system, but they have the different chemical composition. So your first option will be our right answer. Now ninth question is, when one mineral alters to another, but in such a way that the internal structure is changed, but external form of the original crystal is retained, then a specimen is called. So sometimes minerals changes their internal structure, but it is not able to, due to some conditions, it cannot change, or it is unable to change its crystal structure. So such are known as the pseudomorphism, as the false morphology. The mineral is no more than not with the original, but chemical composition is now changed, so mineral is changed, but morphology is that of previous one. So it is the pseudomorph, false morphology. Then question number 10th one is, polymorphs element like carbons are called. So as you know that polymorphism is the same composition but different morphology, such as we have the aluminosilicates, kyanides, ilmenite, andalusite. All of them have the same chemical composition but different appearance or different atomic or different crystal form. But whenever we talk about the carbon, you know that there are two, like a diamond and graphite. So diamond and graphite both have the same chemical composition, that is the carbon, but it has the different atomic structure or different appearance. So whenever in any polymorphs, when composition is an element, here composition is an element, that is carbon. So whenever a simply element shows different morphology, then it is known as the allotropic. So we can say that polymorphs or the allotropes are the special category. Allotropics are the special category of polymorphism. Now next question is, when form of a mineral is thread-like, it is termed as. So whenever a mineral shows thread-like structure or thread-like form, it is known as the filiform, second option. Then the form of a mineral is said to be reticulated vein. So reticulated and a special type of form which is the which shows when the crystal are slender and in the lattice-like group. So this is the reticulated form. Then next question is the property of mineral by which it offers the resistance of breaking, crushing, bending or tearing is known as. So whatever these properties are given, breaking, crushing, bending or tearing, these are known as the tenacity property of minerals. Okay, parting is simply your false cleavage. Whenever you see the tourmaline mineral, it shows the different striations, you can say them parting, a false cleavage. And fracture is simply the surface, broken surface, how the mineral behaves whenever it breaks. Then cleavage is simply the surface along which minerals easily breaks, a planar surface. So tenacity is the property which offers resistance to breaking, crushing, bending or tearing. Now next question is, the mineral which can be cut and powdered are known as. So mineral which can be cut and powdered are known as, options are sectile, ductile, and other options are elastic and reptile. So reptile is simply the animals, reptile animals. Then elastic is the bending elasticity, as you all of you know. And here the mineral which can be cut, that is known as sectile. Sectile is the property. Okay, then next question is your litharge. Litharge is an ore of the extraction of. So litharge is an ore of lead. It has the chemical composition is PbO, lead oxide. Okay, then the degree of transparency of a mineral is known as. So degree of transparency is known as your diffanity. So within the definity you can say it is transparent, translucent, like this. While colorization and phosphorescence, these are the other properties we will see in further questions. So here colorization is shown by, so this is the specific property which is shown by the hyperasthene. Whenever you get the colorization, simply it is hyperasthene, no doubt. Okay, and so it simply is shown by the pyroxene. It is the pyroxene mineral hyperasthene. Then next question is the these minerals which after being exposed to ultraviolet light emits light. So there are certain minerals whenever we put ultraviolet light on them, they emits light. Not every mineral but some minerals emits light whenever they are exposed to the ultraviolet light, and so this is known as the fluorescent property. Now there is another property, that is the phosphorescent. It is a little bit different, such as whenever we expose the mineral into the ultraviolet light, it emits light, then phosphorescence. Then when we remove this ultraviolet light, then after it is regularly emitting the light, then it will be termed as phosphorescent. That means if we remove ultraviolet light but mineral is regularly emitting the light, it will be termed as phosphorescent. Okay, now question number 19th one is mark the correct statement. So let us see what are the statements are here. First is the presence of cleavage planes indicates the same strength of bond between the atom in the crystal. And second is the presence of cleavage plane indicates the difference in strength of bonds atoms between the atoms in the crystal. While the third is saying for cleavage strength of bonds between atoms in the crystal is not responsible. So here the correct statement is your statement number V. Presence of cleavage planes indicates the difference in strength of bonds between atoms in the crystal. So you know that mica minerals, you have the biotite, muscovite. So there are cleavage planes which are known as the basal cleavage. It is because the strength of bond is very weak in that layer. So that's why second option B will be our right answer. Now question number 20 is how many cleavage sets are found in quartz mineral. So cleavage sets are of 1 set, 2 set, 3 set, 4 set, like this. While if we talk about the quartz, it is cleavageless, absent, no cleavage are there. Some other minerals are also there, like we have corundum. Corundum is also cleavageless, it has no cleavage. So it's all about for today. In the next video we will see another 20 MCQs from the same book, same chapter. Okay, and we will cover the whole MCQs from this book. Okay, thank you.